are you? What's up? What's new? I'm a little rough today. Just, you know how some days you don't really feel like putting that much effort into yourself? Today's one of those days. I'm putting effort into work today, so hello. As I mentioned on last Monday's video, if you watched it, I kind of did a general Q&A, but I had a lot of questions that were kind of deeper questions concerning my faith and my life and my path and everything like that, and so I figured I would make its own video for it. I haven't really thought out what exactly I'm going to say in this video or what I'm going to share with you or the order of things. It's just going to kind of come naturally, I guess. Here goes nothing. Never really considered myself having like a testimony per se because I didn't feel worthy of it, because I never really had like a big epiphany with church or falling out with church or anything like that. I was raised in the church. If you don't know me, I am from a really small Texas town called Boerne, Texas. I lived there from the age of kindergarten all the way till I went off to college. And Boerne is one of those towns where it's very much a bubble. It is a lot of people that think the same way, act the same way, have the same ideals. My family was very involved in church, which is awesome. We went to the same church, which was a great church. It's an awesome church. And my dad's actually an elder at that church. So basically like on volunteer staff kind of. And that's just what we did every Sunday. My parents volunteered, I went, and I didn't really think anything of it. Everyone went to church. Kind of a part of life. When I was 12, I decided to get baptized. Still, you know, it's your own decision at that point, but kind of not. Everything was fine. I wouldn't say I had like a great, like super powerful relationship with the church or with God, but I was a good Christian girl, you know, going to church every Sunday, just doing the thing, what everyone else did, whatever. High school was a little bit different. It was cool. My parents actually let me drive an hour and a half into inner city San Antonio each way to school every day to go to performing arts high school, and that was the first time I was really around diversity in my life, which is actually really cool. My camera died, but I'm back. Where was I? High school. Yes, I finally got to go to a place every day for 3-ish years. I graduated early, where I got to be around different mindsets, different beliefs, different religions, different sexualities, different race. Everything was different, and it was awesome because it kind of helped me solidify who I was. For once, I wasn't just doing the thing everyone else was doing. I got to kind of be like, oh wow, there's a world of choices out there and I'm gonna make my own. And I don't think I was still necessarily the strongest with my faith. I was going to the same church, so things were still kind of the same there, the way it had been my whole life. But at least I was more aware of the world and aware of myself in turn. My first boyfriend in high school actually wasn't even religious at all, which is very interesting. It was not a serious relationship by any means. It was very different. It wasn't until I was about 16 that I kind of fell into a serious relationship. I started pretty seriously dating a guy that he was Christian, and he actually didn't go to my high school. He lived in my hometown. I feel weird. I don't want to speak too much on his beliefs because that's not my place, that's his, and it's so far in my past, but it did kind of shape me, so I will just say the necessary parts. I felt like he was Christian, but didn't really choose it, if that makes sense. So because of that, my focus has started going more on him and even less on the church, and our relationship got very serious. I actually graduated high school early, hoping to move out to LA at age 17, and I decided to stay back in Texas and instead follow him to college at UT Austin, which is probably the biggest regret of my life. I really wish I had just followed my dreams. I actually saw this post on Instagram or something the other day, and it said, "Girls, follow your dreams, not your boyfriends." And I wish I had seen that when I was younger. To me now it sounds crazy, but the Texas norm was to get married very young. I am married young now. I'm 21 and I'm married. Like, that is really young, but we were very seriously considering getting married and engaged when I was 18 and he was 19 or 20, and he had a ring and everything. So it was very serious. He asked my dad for permission, everything like that. And our relationship kind of took a very strong and quick end. There was lots of different rumors about what happened. Basically, long story short, it went from him wanting to propose to him questioning the whole relationship within a couple of days, and I could feel it happening. So I basically told him, I said, like, I had realized at that time that I was worth more than being questioned and that I had wanted to do more with my life. So I told him, basically you can choose me, or if you don't want to choose me, that's absolutely fine, but I'm going to follow my dreams and I'm going to go to LA. And I don't know if you thought I was serious or not, but we decided to end our relationship, and literally the next day I was packing up my apartment in Austin. I had my two best friends, two of my lifetime best friends. There's a group of 5 of us. They came up to Austin with me. We had a final sleepover. We packed up my apartment in a day and I moved out. It was just a miracle that in the middle of the school year too, we found someone that wanted to sublease my apartment, which I didn't even think was possible. And it all just worked out. I really felt like it was God's plan coming into place. And it took me about a week and a half to really get my ducks in a row, figure out what I was gonna do for school in LA, where I was gonna live. I literally did not know a soul in LA. A week and a half later, I drove from Texas to LA. My mom came with me, and I found this little bungalow behind a really sweet old lady's house that I lived in alone. It was probably 300 square feet. It was also ridiculously high in rent. It was $1,800 a month. Now I know after living here that that is absolutely ridiculous, but I did not know at the time. And so I lived there alone, and I just started my life in LA alone as an 18-year-old who did not know anyone. And that, I think, is when my faith really started to become real. I realized that what I needed to do was find a church. Like, the world was my oyster. I had gone to the same church my whole life, pretty much. And I found a church called Mosaic, which was in Hollywood, is in Hollywood. We just now have like 7 campuses. At the time, we had 1. So it's crazy that it's grown so much. And I fell in love. Like, I did not realize that church could be so cool and so fun and have so many people similar to me and be so artistic and creative and so current. And that's just something that we didn't really have in our small town. My mind was blown. I was like, oh my gosh, this church is so relevant. Like, this church helps me in my life and has people that are in the same phases of life as me, and everybody is just so on fire and passionate and using their creativity to further the church. Like, my mind was blown. And that is when I really became on fire. I found a place that I fit in. There's no one right way to do church. There's a different type of church for everyone. The church I was going to in Texas was great for its surroundings and for the people there. I think that I just, in my heart, have always been a little more West Side. And so getting to be in a culture that I had always felt like I belonged in was so cool to finally be there. And I started serving at that church, really got plugged in, and that's how I met a lot of my friends. And that's when it was my choice, finally. It was my choice, it was my home. It was something I looked forward to. I didn't know you could look forward to church. I kind of saw it as, yeah, it's just a thing that we do on Sundays. Now it's something that I enjoy doing, that I look forward to. And that was really, really cool for me. Now, shifting to my relationship with Brooke, it was funny too, because I moved to LA and I started dating. And I hated dating. I hated dating. I will tell the full story of how I met Brooke in a different video. I deleted all my dating apps except for CrossPaths, because I forgot that was even an app, because who uses CrossPaths? What even is CrossPaths? And I opened it one day out of like, wait, what is this? And his was the first profile to pop up. And I was like, he's really cute. And so I swiped right on him, literally did not swipe right on a single other person on that app. The rest is history. Well, there's actually a really funny, ironic, coincidental story behind there, but we'll talk about that soon. And that was cool too, to finally in my life meet someone and date someone and now marry someone who so passionately chose to be a Christian as well. He wasn't raised Christian. He actually had a pretty rough younger days, and he found the church when he was in late high school. And because of that, like, it was such a choice for him that he was so passionate about it. And that has just been so cool for me, to have a man in my life that challenges me and helps me grow within my faith. And that's why I married him. Like, it has been amazing. That's just kind of my general life story. I guess it's a testimony. I'm gonna call it my testimony. I'm gonna own up to it, call it my testimony, even though like nothing wild happened besides me moving to LA when I was 18 because of a breakup. That's me. That's my faith story. That's my story. That's how I got to LA. I want to dive more into how my faith affects my marriage, gonna try to bring Brooke on the camera for that one though. Stay tuned. I love hanging out with y'all. Thank you for watching this video. It was a little more personal, a little bit more vulnerable for me to make. I know it's not gonna be like a super viral video, but I have another wedding video coming out next Monday, so press subscribe if you want to see that, and then I'm going to try to do more home decor stuff coming up soon. Okay guys, I love you. I will talk to you later. Have the best day.